Hello and welcome to the stream. I'm Victoria Corva. You can call me V. And today I'm playing Book of Travels, which is a really exciting game for me to be starting the new year streaming. Hello to Maliki and Ninetailed Dragon and Story Dragon. Hi and welcome. And to anyone else who might be here and hasn't said hello in the chat. I'm very excited to get started today. I think I'm going to continue the game I've already started playing today, but what I'd like to do, just because Book of Travels isn't a super well-known game, it's an indie game, I'd like to show you what the character creation looks like before I return to my game. Because I think it's really, it's quite unique. I really like it. Let's see. Let's create. Hello to Madam Libertine, welcome. So, one of the things with character creation in this game... Oh gosh, it's a little bit loud. Let me just... Is that my count settings or volume? I can't change the volume right now. Well, that's fine. One of the things with character creation in this game is that it doesn't hold your hand very much. So there's lots of different things. You don't have an awful lot of control over what you choose. But, you do get some... You kind of discover what they mean as you play. So it's more about building the kind of personality that you have. Oh, hang on, it's too loud. Let me go back. Hang on. Be right back, screen. I have to log out so I can get to the audio settings. Music volume. I did think it was a bit loud. There we go. Hello, is that a little bit better? Okay. There we go. So. Glad you can hear me. In this game, your character creation is kind of more about your personality than it is about your actual abilities, because your actual abilities change a lot in the game. They're mostly determined by items that you carry and skills that you choose to learn, which it's not something that is determined by like a class. So your form just determines kind of what you look like and what your emotes look like, and a few basic things from the beginning of introduction. So it's things like the Veiled, who's a shrouded whisper step, spell-cloaked veiled dominion, solitary secret ruler. Like, these are the kind of descriptions they give of the characters. You get to put an extra point into one of two talents, which is attached to each form, which again doesn't make a huge difference in the gameplay, but it is helpful in the early game. And your wind that you're associated with is one of the four directions, and they have slightly different abilities. So the Western Wind is kind of illusions and kind of more mysterious magics. The Northern Wind is... I believe it's kind of more mental and supportive things. The Southern Wind is more physical and fighting magics, and the Eastern Wind is more natural magics. So you gain benefits from being attached to that wind, but you can learn from any kind of wind. So we've got here the Mosswalker, by common norms unfettered, spirit deep ponderer of purposes, carefree self-paced meanderer. And, you know, it's just lovely, like, self-styled craftsmaster, bemused adventurer. These are just kind of suggestions of the kind of personality you might choose, really more than anything. My character that I chose was the Merthyr, because I wanted social and spiritual, and I liked the idea of them being very bright and cheerful. You choose your upbringing, which I don't think has any effect on gameplay. These symbols that you see are knots, which are the main way of communicating in the world. People communicate by tying knots and send messages that way, and it's also the word for spells. Goodbye, Fixato. It's lovely to have you here. And there's a lot of... You can write your own backstories. You can write your own age. The gender is blank. You can literally enter anything you like in the gender, which I think is very cool. and then you choose a trait. So you get 2 positive traits from this list, which each have unique effects on the gameplay rather than increasing skills or anything. So like, peaceful, you gain a bit more energy when you're resting at a fire. Calm, you gain more energy from food and drink. So not all of it's implemented yet. Romantic, you gain more knowledge in parties of 2. And then on the other side, there's things like stiff. It takes you a bit longer to get into a running state. I believe there's a dyslexic option as well for some characters, where all the writing in the game is kind of slightly misspelled. It's like a lot of unusual. It's kind of an unusual gameplay. Character creation options. So your starting skills are determined by your wind. You choose one. Some of them are knots, which is like spells that you can cast if you have the ingredients. And of the 2 traits that were attached to your form, you can increase 1 by 1. But in the rest of the game, this doesn't affect anything. At the moment, for appearance, you can just choose a voice.
Hey.
They're ungendered.
Hey.
They're not like locked by gender. And your eye color, again, is supposed to kind of denote some of your personality. The last thing you do is you roll for items, some of which give you some benefits like extra pockets, or additional storage or extra speed, but most of which is just kind of aesthetic. And then again, you roll for your names so that they're all within the lore. So I'm not actually going to start a character because I don't want to spoil... If anyone becomes interested in playing this game, I really don't want to spoil the experience of the start, which is very beautifully narrated and is a very gentle and calm opening I find really enjoyable. So we'll be going back to my character now, but that gives you a little bit of an idea of how this goes. Also, by the way, Claire Orion, thank you so much for the follow. I'm sorry I missed that. And let's see. Let me come back. So that's a character Joe was testing out the game with. They my partner, and they liked it so much that they brought their game as well so we can play together. This is my character. Your character is tied to the server that you're on. I accidentally put 12 hours into this game on the US West server, so I've been playing only with Americans, even though I'm in the UK. It's been fine. Hi, Claire! Welcome! I'm seeing Maloki saying, I still remember the feeling of the first time a game let me choose a voice. Oh, absolutely. It's one of the wonderful things about getting to choose a character. So... Madam Libertine, why are you saying no? What's wrong? You're here because of Mastodon? Oh, wonderful. So this is my character here. This is Effie Marath. These are NPCs. And in this game, you can run, but as you can see the little grey stamina bar up here, it goes down very quickly. So you can't run very much. And it's generally easier to walk because then your energy doesn't go down. You have 3 life petals, which if your energy gets to 0, you lose 1. If you lose all 3, you lose your character forever. But you can avoid combat. I don't even know how to fight yet in this game, as in my character has not trained in any skills that enable them to do combat. And you just have to look after yourself while you travel if that's the case. You know, make sure you eat and rest when you become hungry or tired. And it's very straightforward. Well, it's very lovely to have you here. So, I'm not even sure where I am right now. Let's see, travel west to crossings. Oh, okay. I'm at the Chalcate Bridge Station. So you'll notice the things on this map don't highlight in any way. So these are like points at which you can go to a different part of the map, but to know where it's going, you need to zoom out and kind of have a look at which regions it's attached to understand where they're going. You can write notes on your own map, but in general, all notes in Quest Journal, you just keep in a notebook beside you. You have to write it yourself. And at first I was like, why are you making this game so difficult for me? I have to walk everywhere, and I have to keep my own notes. This is unreasonable. But it's actually thoroughly enjoyable. And it's made me feel a little bit more invested in what's happening. Not being a naturally patient person, it was very interesting to start this game. So, hang on. One of the early access bugs I keep encountering is that sometimes the loading screen ends too soon and I have to wait a sec before I can walk. But that's fine. I'll be able to walk in a second. There we go. And my character, you might notice, is carrying a big branch that gives me some stat bonuses. That's why I'm carrying that. Up here is a train station with a train that comes at a regular interval, and you can actually ride. And yeah, it's weird to stream this game because I almost originally didn't want to, just because I really value the silence of this game. It's so quiet and peaceful and slow. And I didn't know how that would translate to a stream because I have to keep talking. But it's not... The game isn't super well known in spite of it being really, really beautiful and doing interesting things with the MMO genre. So I just kind of wanted to support it by showing people what it's like. Oxen Keeper. Let's go have a chat with him. You get experience in this game by looking at things, reading things, talking to people, resting. Let's see. I respect my oxen's endurance. They are hardworking beasts. Okay. You can pet almost every animal in this game except for oxen, and it breaks my heart. One day. Miserable young woman. Oh, there's someone sitting down there. Ninetailed Dragon says, I don't think anyone's a naturally patient person. At least, I don't think I've met one. Patience is a skill you have to learn, and a difficult one at that. Yes. You know, that's probably true. Claire says, reminds me of a game I play in Ubuntu. Oh, what's the game that you play in Ubuntu? Miserable young woman. She turns away and returns to folding and refolding a small piece of metal wire. There's a story there, but I don't know all of it yet. Hi, Sam. Welcome. You can't stay long? Oh, well, thank you so much for stopping by. I have some abilities that let me travel faster on the road. I also got cursed by a ghost captain a little while ago, and I'm pretty sure the only way to get rid of it is to kill the ghost, which I don't feel capable of doing. So I'm just cursed, and I don't really know what it does. It hasn't noticeably affected my gameplay, so I don't know exactly what it does. Flare. It's more like Diablo? Oh, okay. Crossings. So skiff bat also. The children here know all about the winds, of course. They tend to be a bit slower when it comes to not reading, though. As far as I can tell, you are a stranger in this land. Let me teach you. Knots are tied in shapes that symbolize particular sounds. From a string of knots can be read whole sentences. Knots can also be fashioned into weave scrolls that hold entire texts. Color can be added to these weaves, creating picture texts that illustrate and animate simultaneously. Some mystics called knot binders whisper words of making over their knots, giving them miraculous properties. Yes, so I have some knots that I can cast, but I only recently learned how to read knots. It used to be that all the knots I saw in the world just said question mark, question mark, question mark. I had to find someone who could train me, and I took a skill in it in the Velen tongue, so I can read Velen knots. And that's been interesting. Something was glittering down here, wasn't it? That means there was something around here that I can pick up. I'm trying to see. Aha! It's a dandelion. Flare contains goblins, skeletons, and dragons. Oh, that sounds fun. I love RPGs in general. This one is just very beautiful and very different, so I'm enjoying it. No dragons, no fun, says Claire. Oh, I mean, dragons make everything more fun, it has to be said. If you have grains to mill, you should head to the orchard mill. Well, I don't. The people that you see in each town vary quite a lot because people do travel around the map. This here is a tea house. Tea is like potions in this world, but it's also a huge way in which you just survive and interact with the world. Most tea houses have tea you can drink for free. I'm gonna see if there's any tea here. Wise destitute wretch. Oh, there's a bag or something there. Oh no, that's just a detritus. There are rumors of a Sephra in the Jade Urn that rewards experienced Kaleems who, unlike you, choose to leave their braided shawl birth wounds untreated. Interesting. I don't know exactly what that means. Of birth wounds? Interesting. Ninetailed Dragon says, to be fair, tea is like potions in the real world too. Oh, absolutely. Oh, I don't think there's any free tea today. I'm disappointed. Oh, there's a pig, though. There's a pig sitting next to a man. And I can pet it. I'm not completely sure, but I think petting animals might slightly increase your stamina, energy. I'm not 100% sure. I just have a suspicion. Maliki says, can you pet the dog? Yes, yes, and almost everything else. I found a goat with wings and I pet that. It was amazing. The waves and the winds move by the breath of... Oh, what was that? Of the mighty drifter always. Hmm. Hello, do you have any tea for me? Oh. Maybe I'm too high a level for free tea. I don't really know how it works. Or maybe it's the wrong time of day. Hans Union official. House up to the tree. See, I can read that sign now. I couldn't used to. Very exciting. Wing? No, I found a goat with wings. I don't know its relevance. It was just hanging out outside someone's house. If your feet ever need a breather, Kaleem, why not lend your strength to the Hands Union? The Hands Union is the backbone of all worthwhile workers in the Braided Shore. There is beauty and truth in the purity of strength and the determination of shouldering your fellows' burdens. This is what lies at the heart of the Hands Union calling. Oh, perhaps I should join the Hands Union. Great work harbors great rewards. Well, I'm glad you're all so happy. Shipping company, drafting agents, traveling musician. Oh, there's a player here. They're trading with someone right now. Apparently there are Ashen folk suspects behind whatever happened in Kesa. No foreigners appear to be involved. Yeah, there's like an unfolding story about a part of the world we can't access yet called Kesa. This is a player. Sarat. We're in a group because they've been nearby for long enough, which increases our collective strengths as long as we hang out together. Oh my goodness, I can read all of this. It's all just notices. When they're done trading, perhaps I should say hi? We don't have to travel together. You can only communicate in this game via emotes and symbols. I don't have any actual, like, emotes yet, although you can discover them in the world, but I do have these little personal descriptions. My character's negative trait is that they are shy, so all my emotes are smaller than other people's. Which I just think is very cute. When it stops having that, they'll stop being trading. You say hi. Hello. Well, if they're off to their own thing, sometimes I just follow people, but I mean, maybe I will. I don't have much else to do right now. Yeah, we're still in a group, so they haven't left the group. Basically, if we encounter any difficult endeavors that require increased skills, if we're together, we'll be able to do it better because we'll be combining our strengths. Sam says I refuse to believe in the propaganda that being shy is a bad thing. Well, I agree with you, but also, if I have to take it as a negative, like if I have to take a negative trait, it was nice to take one that isn't really much of a negative. I'm just following this stranger. Yes, let's be a group. Sometimes I want to communicate quite complex things with people, and it is very difficult with the limited communication available to me. Ninetailed Dragon says, I like the big leafy branch you're using as a walking stick. Thank you. That increases my speed while I am carrying it, but it decreases my social. I can switch it out for other items I'm carrying. Claire says, I love the trees. The design is beautiful. Yes, I mean, that's the biggest thing that struck me about this game is just that it's absolutely stunning. I could pet these goats, but I'm trying to keep up with my companion. Wherever you want to go, Sarat. It's nice to hang out. I think he's got a sword. I wonder where we're going. Well, if Sarat, he, she, or they, I'm not sure their pronouns, if they travel through, I should get invited to go with them, unless they chose to go alone. Well, we're still in a group. Aw, I have been left behind. I should probably have just gone through. Pet a goat. You might think, what am I going to do today? Like, why am I just kind of wandering aimlessly? There are quests and things that you can write down, and there's lots of notes I've taken, but ultimately the journey is the game, and I don't really have an agenda for today beyond to talk to characters, see players, and see a bit of the world. Claire says, reminds me of Road to Santiago. It's a tradition in... Who are you? Oh. It's a tradition in Spain and South France. People walk from X place to Santiago de Compostela. Oh, okay. I cannot wait to be able to pet an oxen. I did have a quest to pull something from an ox's mouth. That was very entertaining. Apparently it was always eating stuff it shouldn't. So a big thing about this game is that you don't actually have to stick to the roads. In fact, there's a lot of very interesting things off the roads. It's just more dangerous off the roads. And I spend a lot of time, even though I have no ability to defend myself, traveling off the roads. And just seeing what I can find. But it's also just very pleasant to follow the roads and just kind of vibe. Oh, some people over there. Oh, lockbox maker. Hello. I am not only a lockbox maker, I'll have you know. I am a lockpick-proof lockbox maker. At least that is my ambition. I have here the lockbox of my latest design. I would be grateful if you could make an attempt to pick its lock. To study how you get on will help me to improve my box even further. What do you say? Do you accept? Well, let's see the difficulty level. It's locked tight. Okay.
What do you need?
3. How many have I got right now? It's taking a second to... Yeah, let's try that again. Do I actually have 0 right now? That doesn't sound right. There we go. 1. Ooh, I don't think I can actually hit 3. Let's have a look at my items. So this is... Oh, this is reducing my mechanics by 1. So if I take off my branch, it gives me 2 speed, but it reduces my mechanics. Then I'm at 2. And then if I use my machinist's short hook rod, it increases my mechanics by 1. So I think I should now be able to achieve this.
What do you need?
Care to trade? Well, let's see. In this game, you don't have money. Everything is by bartering. So I've been trying to increase the amount of high-value items I carry so I have more space. Maliki says the art style is lovely, a bit diffuse for me, so I think it'd be tough for me to play. That's very understandable. Is there anything here that I think might be worth getting? Oh, they're selling the actual items quite cheaply to me. So let's see if I can... consolidate some of my... Definitely carrying things that I don't... no, don't have the trade. Just go to my next page. Okay. It's supposed to show the items here, but they often glitch. This is an early access game. They often glitch to be invisible. But if you mouse over them, you can see them. So I'll take one of these a couple of these back, perhaps. I'll sell the teacup. The other thing is that you cannot usually perfectly meet the other person's trade. And that's a thing that I'm trying to work out how I'll get the best value out of this trade. Although I am getting them a little bit cheaper. I guess I'll take back some of these lower value items. Okay, they're accepting 123 value for their 125 value. And they bought them at their base value, so... Yes, thank you. So now I've got these items. I'm gonna put my branch back on because I walk faster with it. There we go. Maliki says reminds me a lot of the trade in Sheltered. Sheltered? I don't think I know that game. Who are these people? I can't pet any of these chickens. But I want to pet a chicken. think they're just drinking tea down there. One thing I will say about this game being an early access is that a friend has been playing it, and because they can only play it on like a laptop of small screen, they're struggling because you cannot adjust the resolution and text size in this game yet. Bear in mind, it's very, very early access. That is a thing to be aware of, I would say. Yes, you are speaking to Strom of Braided Shore Cartography Institute. I wonder if you can be of any I can be of any assistance to you, Wanderer. I'm afraid due to the current Casa blockade, I've been forced to work without access to our map-making workshop. This means that I have little new map information or updated maps to offer our subscribers. I will, however, still trade in any maps or geographical documentation you might have. By doing so, you will benefit all travellers in Braided Shore subscribing to using our superior maps. Well, you're not even offering me a trade, actually. The assistant points at the superior. Well... The Western Verve. I guess I'll travel to the Western Verve. Maliki says, I love when you can't use money because different items will have different values for different people. Yes! Yes, and you can't always have like a perfect trade either. It's interesting. Ninetailed Dragon says cartography is an underappreciated art. I fully agree. Map making is beautiful, and charting locations is valuable. Ninetailed Dragon says it's one of those things you only really notice when someone does it badly. Oh, true. Junction Steward. Where is this? Hang on. I think this might be some kind of dig site? May I assist you in your journey, traveller? Maybe. Welcome to the Western Verve Junction, traveller. Trains for crossings and Siram Fields leave from the central platform. Be aware, though, that the train does not actually stop at Siram Fields, so if you wish to alight there, you have to jump off the moving train. Regulations dictate I only suggest this course of action to passengers travelling light. Ferries to Bat Sahar sail from the northern pier. All other train and ferry destinations have been temporarily discontinued by order of the coroners. If you require priority class travel, I can offer you train and ferry passes to trade. On behalf of the Junction staff, I wish you a fruitful and safe journey. I actually already have a ferry pass. I haven't taken the train yet, and I'd really like to. So maybe I should wait here until the train arrives? Lost luggage handler. Handler assistant, it's a little child. Ninetailed Dragon says, warning, trees ahead, warning. Yeah, I've got him. Might interest you in some lost and found items. The council decrees that items left unclaimed in rail wardens' chests for longer than a season get traded off, the proceeds befalling railway upkeep. As you can imagine, I can offer a great variety of items. I'll show you what I've got if you're willing to trade. That's very interesting because you can leave things in the rail boxes. But I didn't know what the rules of them are. A warning knot. An illegal demand knot. These are all like messages. But they all have value. A dark magnet. A family token. A preserved leaf from the Obram forest. A traveling artist's notebook. This is very, very interesting. I don't really need any of these. And yet I kind of want one. Oh, they're overcharging me. I see how it is. I don't have very high social, which I think affects my trading. Story says, train goes there but does not stop, so you have to jump off. Ah, yeah, yeah. I'm quite tempted to go anyway. Tranquil person. All the architecture in this game is very open and very crumbling. Watching the trains go by is really relaxing. I agree. Interlocking mechanism? Hang on, is that something I can do? This contraption appears to hide something within it. Only needs 2. I've got it. Oh, there's something I can pick up. A small Tomback flywheel. Thank you. Let me get my speed back. Ninetailed says, I did notice that all the buildings seem very run down. Did something happen? Capital H. I believe in the lore that this is kind of... I haven't been able to piece it all together yet because it's all very gentle. There's definitely some kind of fracas happening with Kesa right now. And additionally, there seems to be a lot of remains of a previous civilization, and I think it's possible that everyone here is living in the remains of that past civilization. I don't really know anything else beyond that. But I'm sure I'll find out more as I play. You learn a lot also by reading, which I haven't been able to do until like the last hour of gameplay for myself, because I learned how to read. So a lot of items you pick up will be notes or messages, not, and you can learn a lot by reading them. I'm in shelter right now, which is a good place for resting. But my energy's quite high, so I'm probably not going to rest. I'm just going to wait for the train. Although it doesn't go, it just goes back the way I came, doesn't it? And I'll have to jump off at Ceram Fields. So maybe I won't take the train right now. How often do trains come by? I think you usually have to wait sort of 5 minutes. You know, I don't have a problem just sitting here for them to come. It's definitely regular enough that it's only a couple of minutes, but that can feel like a long time. This is more about what I was saying about the game teaching you patience. But you can sit and rest and recover your energy while you wait. And additionally, if you have the ability to create a fireplace, which I don't yet, you can brew teas, which will help you and give you more abilities. I know a few teas. The teas that I can brew are the Brew of Hidden Cries, which gives you incredible hearing. And let's see, I haven't taken the skill yet, but the Blend of Fervor, which gives you greater speed, and the Bedimming Brew, which blurs your appearance and makes you harder to detect, which is very cool. But I've mostly taken knots at the moment, and most of my knots are not currently available. One of them is to teleport, and I think I should unequip it for now and equip something else I'm more likely to do, because I don't have any of the ingredients to fold myself to a new location. So I've got 2 available. Affinity for Water. It's a passive ability that lets you gain power by standing in water, which is very cool. I think the Blend of Fervor would be quite useful to me, so I'm going to take that for now. Skills you gain, apart from the one you gain at character creation, usually by trade. You go and you barter with people to be trained, and then you receive items like these. The skill to assemble fireplace, the skill to create a jade brew tea, to create a wind shelter, and then you choose, if you read them, you learn them, and you can decide to assign some of your knowledge points to them. But I only have 5 knowledge points because I'm only a level 5. And different abilities cost different amounts of knowledge points, which depends both on the difficulty of the thing you're learning and on which wind you're affiliated with. So Affinity 4 for water is an eastern wind, and I'm a western wind. So it costs me 2 instead of 1, for example. My favorite ability that I have is Align, which is a spell that lets me see ghosts, which has been quite useful. There are a lot of ghosts in this world. Ninetail Dragon says, I'm currently drinking ginger tea. It provides partial protection from being far too cold. That's a very useful and powerful tea, in my estimation. Currently my hands are very chilly, so I'm especially feeling that. I'm just gonna kind of wait and see when the train comes by. Crossings, Char Passage, and Seaman Fields. Yeah, that's what we just had the conversation, didn't we? They didn't say the train service is suspended. So it will arrive. If only I am patient enough. Just a character sheet. You can see that's how my progress towards level 5. It's my life petals. I have 3 of 3. My current talents, which are affected by the items I am holding and what I am wearing. I believe they're normally all 1 except for spirituality, which is 2. I have deep sulfur eyes, indicative of being committed to a life of wisdom and creativity. I have a mystic upbringing. I was born in a western wind, and the only option at the moment is to be an Ashen folk origin. I didn't fill in background and personality, but apparently you can edit those later, because I wasn't quite sure what to make of this game at that point. Force is lets you do damage in combat, which is very slow and turn-based. Ward is your defense, speed is your speed, and burden is reduces your speed. So I try and keep my speed high and my burden low. Hi, Ben Hamill, welcome! Ben says, I like the bird sounds, it's pretty relaxing. Oh, nothing more relaxing than crow sounds, I have to agree. See, this is what I mean about this game. Like, I want to show you the train. But in order to show you the train, I'm just going to have to sit here patiently for a while. And while I find that really enjoyable, it's kind of the antithesis of what you're supposed to be doing in a stream, right? Like, I'm supposed to be doing lots of action. But this game isn't really about that. And since I kind of want to give people a feel for this game, sitting at a train station, just even though I could walk the journey myself, is kind of part of the experience. Ninetail Dragon says, I don't think any of us are here for the standard stream experience. Note the lack of racist memes in chat. Yeah, no racist memes. We'll be throwing people out for that. But, yeah. I guess that's true. I'm not a very standard streamer, I suppose. You're not a very standard stream audience. Ben Hamill says, gotta get your train station CPM up. The trains in this game are really beautifully designed. I feel like I could become like an anorak, but in this game. In this game only. Teferak says, this is definitely the true stream approach. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Reassured. Story Dragon says, I surely am not the standard stream audience. I do not watch very much streams. Well, there you go. I'm very grateful that you're all here with me right now and we can enjoy the nice breeze and the crow sounds together. I'll show you some of the symbols and emotes we have. So I only have symbols. I don't have any emotes and I don't have any melodies. So I have these basic communication symbols with things like, here's a thing to pick up. Can we rest? Can we make a campfire? Should we be a group? And then kind of emotes. And then I have these other symbols, which is like the different abilities. There's an animal symbol. I had a really interesting experience with the first player I encountered. I had just escaped a bandit and her trained wolf. And I was trying to explain to this player that there was a bad dog in this, like, in a southerly direction, and I was like, dog, bad, down, but like they just started walking down like I was telling them to do it. It was very interesting. And eventually we got to the place where I'd been attacked and I was like, we should leave. I was like, no, and we did leave. And then we went and activated a shrine that was too powerful for me normally, and I got turned into a goat, which was amazing. I could travel really quickly as a goat. It's fun. It's interesting. Honeytail Dragon says it's usually the case that B is the only one in their stream who isn't relaxed. It's nice that they're getting to share it today. Aww. Yeah, I am usually quite tense. But, yeah, Book of Travels is definitely not a tense game. When I'm playing it on my own, it can feel a little bit like meditation almost. But, like, a meditation that doesn't stress me out, which, I mean, I do get stressed by meditation. Not to be a caricature of myself, but... Story Dragon says, also communicating with only symbols and emotes is a cool, challenging concept. It is. I believe it was inspired by games like Journey, where you would interact with other players and only be able to kind of send like a pulse to communicate, which is really a beautiful game and very interesting. But it's unusual in an MMO like this because this is an open world game in which there are not any real objectives, and trying to communicate in a world this broad with such a limited scope is a challenge, but also it's kind of reassuring because in a regular MMO, whenever I encounter people, I mean, it's usually not incredibly positive. It can make you very uncomfortable. And here, very often, you see people, you click wave, you ask if you want to be in a party, you point to a direction, you start walking together, or they say no thank you, you both wave goodbye, and it feels very friendly. Like, maybe on the other side, they're actually very annoyed by me, but I can't tell. And honestly, I doubt it, because, I mean, you can't really do anything that annoying to each other. I want to look at my map, but I worry if I look at my map I might miss the train. Let's have a look. Just want to see if there's any players nearby. No. Teferax says at least there's no link spam here? No, well, in addition to everyone here being wonderful and never spamming, you can't actually post links. I have it turned off just to avoid bots. Which I think is sometimes inconvenient, but on the whole, I think it's been worth it. I'm losing my patience. Where is my train? You can usually hear it coming, but I sometimes struggle to tell the difference between the train and the wind, which is actually very similar to real life. Story Dragon says limited communication options makes rude things harder or less violent. Yeah, well, I think so. In World of Warcraft, for example, if you play a female presenting character, you very often get spammed with flirt emotes and stuff like that, and this game doesn't have anything like that. People can't take off their clothes, like you just look the way you look, and the clothing that you put on is only an equipment stat. You look how you look. So it's interesting. Oh, you mean in terms of MMO chat? Yes, and there's no one standing around saying, want to sell. Yeah, it is nice. So it's making me feel like maybe the train isn't active. I feel like it would have come by now. But at the same time, I waited at the train station the other day, and there was an active train. Ben says, what is character creation like in this game? So I showed it a little bit at the start of the stream, so when you could potentially look back at that. It doesn't explain a lot because it wants you to focus on personality. So it shows you forms, which are kind of personality archetypes. The most relevant thing is which wind you are born under. Other than that, it's mostly kind of aesthetic. You can't at the moment customize your character very much at all. You look basically like you do in the picture, but as a little kind of character instead. You choose personality traits. You randomize your items and choose which random setup of items you like. It could maybe feel a little bit overwhelming, even though much of it is not actually relevant to how you play the game. You can be kind of whoever you want to be once you're in the game. But it's very pretty and aesthetic, and I liked it very much. There is an item there. Oh, I hadn't even seen it because it's like colored, like the dust it's sitting on. What have you got here? A loot jute roll. Okay, loose jute roll. It's got a pocket and 4 burden if you equip it. My goodness. A rickety fig cage, which is also backpack. Bag size +0. This doesn't seem incredibly useful. And a musical score now. Oh, I can read it! The bandit's lament. My bandit's life is fast and free, my fancy snatched from whom may be. Should warden's eye be on its watch, I slip away too quick to catch. But faster thief than me was she, the maiden fair, a vultus retreat. Before a chance I had to flee, she stole the very heart from me. But a dream my bandit's life with kids abound, most sternful wife. My bandit's life was fast and free, my fancy snatched from whom may be. Well, I will take that and probably sell it on. That's interesting. Ninetail Dragon says, I'm not entirely convinced this train is coming. Well, when the trains don't come, normally you speak to the station master and they're like, this train isn't available today. But we can go and have a walk. We'll probably see the train around. Hang on. Let's go and see more of the world. Teferak says, oh, so it's a UK railway sim? It can feel like that when you're waiting for the train. Apparently there used to be a feature where the train station masters would tell you when the train is coming. But that doesn't appear to be implemented at the moment. So now they just tell you if the train is happening or not. Oh, we could take a boat. Ninetailed Dragon says, I'm not sure there are enough drunk people to get the authentic UK railway experience. Oh my goodness. The Western Harvest route. Hang on. Have I been there? I guess I must have. Well, let's travel that way. There. We're gonna go and explore a little bit more. The trains do come. That one was very delayed. Possibly glitched? I don't know. Or it felt delayed anyway. I don't think I've been here before. First hour of the stream is up. We spent 10 minutes of that waiting for a train. I don't entirely regret it. Jade algae. Oh, so these items that I collect that have a leaf symbol when I pick them up, they don't go into my backpack. Instead, they go into my reagents pouch for casting spells and making teas. So this shows you how many of each you have the ingredients to do. I don't know what Glimmer Signal Knot does yet. I have it equipped because it's very common. But I haven't really been able to get it to work. Yeah, the clouds are very beautiful, aren't they? Oh. Mechanics faculty pupils. I just can't work it out. Why is it running backwards? We followed the Elden schematics down to the smallest detail when we built our replica. Have you any knowledge of mechanics, Traveller? If you do, take a look at this blueprint. Can you see anything we might have gotten wrong? When I am holding my machinist rod, maybe I can. Oh no! Nope. No, I will not be accomplishing that. I think I would need a friend. 3, yeah. I need a friend to do that. Ninetailed Dragon says you are wet now? Oh, I think it's lightly raining, so that's probably why. You can dry off at campfires. I think if you're wet, your energy decreases a little bit faster. Oops. Oh, oops. You know how sometimes you just choose to wade through the stream instead? I'm very wet now. I'm gonna pet this sheep, it'll make me feel better. I'm inside the sheep. Well, thank you, sheep. There's a lot of shepherds around, I think. Are those pigs? a swineherd, not a shepherd. Ben says accidental swimming. Exactly. It's just that common experience of accidentally swimming. I kind of want to talk to this pig keeper just because look at all these cute little pigs. Maliki says, I'm gonna go do nap mode. Oh, well, I hope you have a good rest. Thank you so much for coming. It was lovely to talk to you. We've got a meeting later. Oh, well, definitely important to nap. Bye, Mal. Up with the sun. Oops. Up with the sun and down with it as well. I'm a peasant, can you tell? Are you also a poet? Haha. Pet the pig. Very important. There's a lot of flowers around here I could pick up, but I don't think any of them are ones I particularly need. I'm not feeling it right now. I can hear voices over in this direction. Oh. Oh, there's quite a lot going on here. Oh, this is the story! This is the story trader. I've met them before. Nine-tailed Dragon says, herders tend to be poets. Having little songs to help you keep count of the animals in your care is an ancient tradition the world over. That's lovely. Let's see. So this is lovely. This is Ezrafar. Ah, you must be one of the new Kaleems. I'm called Ezrafar to my face and old Ez behind my back. I travel the land sharpening farmers' tools, kitchen knives, scissors, and much everything that has an edge. In return, I ask only to be told a story. Mundane or not, that matters not. But the tale must be a story from your own life, and it must be true. Do you have such a story for me, Dandelion? Dandelion is one of the things they call the travelers. So Ezrafar will trade me their stories. History lesson, not message. I think there was someone who wanted history. Oh! I can't remember who it was. But I don't have any stories from my own life. Do I have any knots? I don't have any knots that perhaps they would want. Yeah. I don't think I will be trading, but I really like the idea of someone, like they're doing providing a fairly kind of useful but normal service of sharpening knives, but they trade that service for stories is very interesting to me. And there's lots of little things like this in this game where everything's just very characterized. Now, I encountered that mysterious figure somewhere completely different in the past. A listening youngling and a philosopher monk? Oh, I think are you the monk I encountered before? Well met, Wanderer. Z, it is! May I tempt you with a cup of sublime plum wine? It is made from royal sun-ripened fruit of my distant homeland. Like myself, it has travelled far and wide to reach you. Oh, okay. I have come to spread my wisdom among the braided shore folk. It would gladden my heart if you would stay your steps for a while and listen. So, basically I found that last time it was just me, and then if I chose to rest, Z would say lots of wise things. Z is a good name, says Nighthawk Dragon. I agree. Those who walk the most know the least. Oh, they'll just keep going. I'll move on for now, because we did spend a lot of time sitting in one place already. That's a good wisdom, says Nine-Tailed Dragon. Some of it was good, some of it less good. I guess when you make your living as a traveling philosopher, there's gonna be some that's more workshop than others. Kura Orchard. Okay, I've been to Kura Orchard. Let's go. Hi, Calmly Enveloped. Welcome. Ninetail Dragon says the irony of someone delivering lectures and life lessons saying those who talk the most know the least is particularly delicious. Oh, who's this? House Pelican Guard. Oh no, okay. I want to talk to this trinket hoarder. That sounds more interesting. But I might wander off into these trees. I don't think I've wandered around here very much yet. I hope you're having a good day, Calmly Enveloped. You've missed a lot of waiting around for a train and a lot of slowly walking. That is pretty much the game. Precious or rare, it is a trader's common deed to help with either.
Yes.
Okay. What do you sell? Salt-stained backpack. Pockets. 6 pockets. That's quite impressive, but it's quite a lot of burden. Oh, this belt gives 3 speed? Oh, but you're asking quite a lot for it. I don't know about that. Hang on. What belt do I have? I don't have a belt. You know what, Trinket Hoarder? Give me that stained belt. Then Hamill says, ugh, those shadows are quite good. Is that a cause for an ugh? I want this waistband. The Knotmaker's waistband. Okay. I can make 86. I've picked up a lot of random stuff. I'll play 87, that's fine. And that's freed up a bit of space for me as well. Ooh, 3 additional speed! My speed is 9 and my burden is only 3. I'm going to walk so quickly now. Look at me, I'm incredible. I'm a speed machine. Calmly Enveloped. Oh, good ugh, says Ben. Good? Good? Okay. I got you. Calmly Enveloped says, I just fell over, but the can of beans in my hand broke my fall. That does not sound like a comfortable solution to the problem. Yeah, are you alright? You're laughing, so I assume you are. Alright. Hang on, these guards.
No, ma'am.
We protect our ward from danger, not from conversation, Sim. Alright. I'll just be on my way. Ninetail Dragon says, zoom! Yes, look at me, I am zooming. That's a wild goat, I think. A wild deer, maybe? I can't usually pet the wild animals. Although sometimes they speak to me. I believe there's an ability you can eventually get at the higher levels that lets you turn into an animal, which obviously I'm desperate to achieve. Let's see. Something I find very strange about this game, but also kind of satisfying, is the way in which, because it's kind of all feels kind of painted, it can sometimes be a little bit hard to make everything out amidst all of the trees. Just picking some pears and grass and the shapes of your characters. And you kind of get used to how it looks, and it's mentioned many times that you're supposed to be paying attention. Like, there are quests that you do better at if you are better able to pick things out from the scenery. It's interesting. Oh. Should I have a quick wade? Oh, I'm hungry. I should eat something. I think I've got some food. I just picked a pear. There we go. I am no longer hungry. Problem solved. Calming Belt says, yeah, I'm fine. Toe caught my trouser legs going up the stairs, but I had 2 cans of beans. Going up the stairs! One in each hand and slammed them into the ground. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I can read this. No, 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 please let me read it again. Faded. No! Just stop walking. Just stop walking so I can read it. Faded not message. Betrayed. They hid a sea asp in my water jug. The double-crossing bastards. It got me in the tongue as I bit its head off. What? I can feel the poison raging through my veins. I swear by all the deep demons of the barrens. If I die in this barren hollow, I will haunt it until all my betrayers are dead, dead, dead. Oh my goodness. That's the knot someone tied there. Didn't know that this place was... There's probably a ghost here, right? What do I need to cast a line here? Hang on, let me mark it on my map. So I can find it again. There's probably a ghost here. I've had tea here many times, unable to read that message, and didn't know. Ooh. Fixato says, well, this is far more grim than I expected this game. This is one of the grimmest things I've seen, but there's a lot of ghosts in this game. So, you know, it can be kind of spooky at times. If you stick to the roads, the game is very peaceful, and if you go off the road, as I have done, you find some more interesting and sometimes darker things. What do I need to cast a line? I need 3 Whispering Orchids and 3 Mirror Ash Leaf. I really want to cast it here so I can see if there's a ghost, and I don't have enough ingredients. I have 1 Mirror Ash Leaf and 8 Whispering Orchids. Okay, so I need the Mirror Ash Leaves. I think I can find them. I think I know where I can find them. There may be some in Kuro Orchard, but I believe there are some in the Traveler's Meadow and in... Not in Harrowledge, in the Traveler's Meadow. Well, let's see what I can find. Calmly Enveloped says, gonna have to start calling you the Flash V. Yeah, look at this incredible speed. If only you knew how slow I was to begin with. Watch this. Watch this. Whoa. Wild. Travel to the Burnings. I don't think there's any Mirror Ash Leaf in the Burnings. I'm going to stick with this orchard. Also, I'm a little bit low on food. What on earth? Okay, I've already read the Bandit's Lament. I found another Bandit's Lament. A shiny advertisement knot. The Casa Knotting Bureau. We offer the most affordable rates and the speedy delivery of all your required pieces of writing. Visit today for a budget-friendly quote and a complimentary cup of tea. I mean, I can trade all of this. Yeah, thank you. Ooh, I think that's a Whispering Orchid. A lot of things only flash once you've been standing still for a little while. It was a Whispering Orchid! Okay, that's useful for a line. If there's Whispering Orchids here, I think there will be Mirror Ash Leaves. So with luck, we'll be able to summon a ghost. Teferac says it's a really neat balance of relaxing with optional dark. Oh, this game is kind of all about that. Like I've said, I think I said earlier, the combat in this game is very sparse, but very tense if you have it, because if you lose all of your life petals before you get them all replenished, your character permanently dies. So there is something to be said for, I mean, it's kind of default pacifist run. You start with no ability to fight, no weapons, and you have to learn the ability to fight if you choose it. But when you're encountering people on the road who are demanding trade from you as a toll, or else they will attack you, it's not the kind of easy answer you might have in a regular MMO. Those kind of things don't happen so much on the road. Which is why all the characters in the game encourage you to stick to the roads. But it's so much more fun off the road. Fixato says, when you die, can you leave a knot? I don't know. I have never died. Colleen Felt says, I love that this is a TMORPG. Yeah, that's kind of a term that they've invented. That it's like a tiny multiplayer online role-playing game instead of a massively multiplayer online. There's only up to 7 people per instance. The multiplayer is very casual and very light, Fixato. You encounter each other usually by chance, and if you spend time around each other for long enough, you get added to a group together and can see each other's names. And you communicate only via symbols and emotes. You add your skills together when you're doing skill checks and thus can help each other. And of course, it's safer if you want to go and fight someone if you have a friend. I haven't fought anyone yet. I'm still deciding whether I want to or not. In most games, I'm always trying to find ways to play them pacifistly. But in this game, pacifist is the default. And it kind of makes me want to try combat more than I ever have in any other game. Story Dragon says off the road are more cool things, the special things. Yes. You find ancient structures, temples, interesting shrines and caves. I don't know what's going on down there. I'm finding a lot of Whispering Orchids and not a lot of Mirror Ash Leaf, which is what I really need. Maybe I should leave this area in search of the Mirror Ash Leaf. I should have written down where I found my Mirror Ash Leaf, then I wouldn't be so uncertain. Calmly Enveloped says, I'm the annoying kind of TTRPG player where I won't fight. Oh, absolutely the same. Fixato says, speaking of pacifist, have you ever played Undertale? I have, and I absolutely adore it. It's one of my very favorite games. Highly recommended to anyone who hasn't played it. Although, the gameplay is very difficult. There's a lot of kind of skill-based mini-games in it. A little cow, or an ox. Oh, I know where I am. You don't have any Mirror Ash Leaf in this pile, do you? Because that would really hit the spot right now. Alkan powder. Well, I don't need that. Hello, Wanderer. I am the woodsmith responsible for keeping the water wheel in operation. As most of its moving parts are made of wood and water propels the machine, the mill requires constant tending to keep it from unnecessary wear and water damage. I have discovered an oil based on willow nuts and resin that both protects and lubricates the hardwood parts of the mill's machinery. The willow nuts in this region are larger than anywhere I know of and can be found along the riverbeds. If you ever find a handful of willow nuts, I will happily trade them with you. Hang on, I need to note this down. So the mill worker in Furrow Orchard wants willow nuts, which can be found on the riverbed. I try to put a lot in my notes. So if I were to click trade, this is a special kind of trade. This is what I thought. So I will, they will give me a crude wooden toy and a knot of thankful wishes if I give them a willow nut. Okay. I'll see what I can find. Nighthawk Dragon says, one of my favorite moments in TTRPG gaming was where I bypassed what was supposed to be a combat encounter by giving the orcs an employee satisfaction survey and making them realize they weren't satisfied enough to stand around here waiting to get killed. That is fantastic. And also makes me think that you and Joe would get on very well in TTRPGs. Joe once had the genius way of getting us through a dangerous encounter by posing as a historical society. and had many characters where they just go around asking NPCs what they want from life, and it's basically just like a life coach. Calmly Enveloped says, I see they went the Fallen London School of naming things. Well, sometimes. After you speak to people, they sometimes get names. It's like, you can only tell... You can't tell their names yet, because you haven't spoken to them. Unfortunately, he doesn't remember who you've spoken to in the past, because it resets every time you go to a new area, but... Anyway. I'm going to head north to Mare. I'm really gonna look for that Mira Ashleaf. I could really use it. I want... It's already 3:25, so we're probably not going to get to do it on stream, but I really wanted to show you the Align spell. We might see some ghosts even without the Align spell, because some ghosts are visible all the time, but it would be good. Oh, objects, not people. Oh, I see what you mean, Calmly Enveloped. Indeed. Baby goats. That baby goat is petable. Happy Goat Kid. Oh. There's another Happy Goat Kid. Well, I mean... It would be a shame not to, wouldn't it? So I will be coming off in just a few moments, but hopefully this gives you a little picture of this game. The quest resolution is often not what you expect. It's often non-linear. I had a quest where someone was sending me to do something very difficult that I was struggling to find the item. And later on, I found another NPC who gave me what I needed, and I was able to trick them into the original quest giver into believing that I'd done the thing that they wanted me to do, and things like that. It's an interesting game, and it's very beautiful. It is an early access, so it's nowhere near as big as it's intended to be. There are glitches and problems with it still, but I'm looking forward to seeing it grow. And it's been really nice to share it with you. It's just been such an incredibly peaceful stream in which I am the least chaotic I've been in a long time on a stream. Although with that in mind, on Friday I am playing Donut County, in which I will become a very large hole and attempt to consume the world, so more chaos is definitely incoming. Wounded Warden. Story Dragon says good to keep it in balance. Yeah, exactly. For every extremely calm and serene stream, I need one where I destroy the world. An entitled goose game for every book of travels, shall we say. I really loved Untitled Goose Game. I'm really hoping Donut County gives me the same feels. It seems to have a similar vibe. Calmly Enveloped says, I heard Donut County is a very fulfilling experience. Oh. Teferac says it's a mood. Yes. Wow. Friendly Road Warden. Do you have any Mirror Ash Leaf? I'm desperate. Well, Matt Wanderer, are you perhaps looking to get instructions in the art of swordplay? Not really. Goodbye. East Shade might also be something for you, says Fixato. It's currently 50% off on Steam. You travel a fantasy world fulfilling quests while making paintings. That sounds lovely. Teferac says, have I played Katamari in the past? No, I have not. People keep recommending it since I've been saying Donut County. So I will add it to the list. I hear that's a game where you're a big bull, just picking things up, getting bigger and bigger. Sounds very fun. Struggling fisher. Will you teach me how to fish? I've been wanting to fish for a very long time. Got a big one on the hook. All I can do is just hold it in place. I need some more muscle to help me pull it out of the water. Oh, please, I don't think I'm very strong. Do you give me strength? You do not. You're a weapon. Am I wearing anything that reduces my strength? Physicality +1. Okay, that's good. I'm just trying to keep track of all my items. Okay, I don't think anything's reducing my strength, so maybe I can do it. How strong do you need to be? 2? Ooh. I might have 2. Let's give it a second. It's gonna think. It's thinking. Tefrex's E-Shade's really lovely. Oh, that's 2 recommendations. I will absolutely check it out. I don't think I'll be able to get it for a little while. Oh, I completed it! Oh, I did it! I did it! I haven't completed a physical challenge in a really long time because I've been very weak. Okay. You lend your strength to that of the struggling fisher and you pull an impressively large fish out of the water. We did it, Nomad! Thanks for the assists. Here's a little something I caught earlier. Enjoy. If I may suggest, stuff it with a little parsley and butter before grilling it. You won't be disappointed. A western snapper. I was hoping you might teach me how to fish. I still don't know how. Oh well. Fixatus' weapon, so there's combat in this game? Yes. There is sparse, dangerous combat, but the game is normally pacifist until you learn how to fight. When I was in a combat situation, I clicked the flee button and I ran the heck away. Anyway. Thanks everyone so much. I'm gonna go to my little end screen now. This has been incredibly peaceful and I have loved it and I have really appreciated the company. If you're interested in the game, it's 20% off for like another hour or 2. It's really close to being done on the Steam sale. But in general, I think it's not, when it's not on sale, it's about £23, £24. But it's very lovely. Thanks. Thanks so much for all being here. I'm glad that some of you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great rest of the day.